Hello, guys. Good morning. So, my name is Rajoshi Shom. So, I'm going to be starting a new series which is called The Mindset. Okay. So, I'll give you a brief about myself a little bit and why did I decide to do this whole series on mindset in the first place. So, first thing is like I've been in the stock market for the last 8.5 or around 9 years. So, I mean, I want to divide that particular period of time into two parts. The first 3 to 5 years, like 3 to 4 to 5 years, was when I was in the market, but I was also like busy with other activities like completing my MBA and then doing my corporate job. So as you can understand, that was a period when I didn't take the market so seriously. But then I was always of that mindset, like, okay, like whatever little money I had, whether it was from my stipend or from my salary or during my college days as well, I used to take money from my parents and invest. So it was like that. And then I would say right from 2018 to present date that I am involved in the market full time. And as you guys also know that I run a program which is called an equity research program where I mentor young people and teach them all about equity research and about how to track businesses and everything. So I'll tell you this, like the reason behind starting this whole series called Mindset. The first is the series will be uploaded on YouTube. Okay, it's not just exclusively for the members of the equity research program. Common people, outsiders can also access it. That's the first thing. Second is the main reason for doing this is right that in the past 8 years, I think I've seen a lot of things in the market. Right. I mean, if I can talk about this, like I saw the market live and I can tell you every event that happened in the last 6 to 7 to 8 years, like I had to endure most of it. Why? Because most of my money was always deployed in the market. I always had this thing of like agar mujhe rehna hai to I have to be in the market. I can't stay out of the market and learn about it or build wealth, right? So I saw a demonetization happening on November 8th of 2016. Then a GST was implemented by the government, and then a pandemic happened after probably 100 years back in March 2020, right? And then in 2021 we saw when 21-22 we saw when there was a war in Ukraine, right? So the reason behind doing this is right, it's like giving you the experiences that have gone through the market. And let me tell you this, the first thing is like it's a game which is more inclined towards the behavioral side than the equity research side, although I'm not saying the equity research side is anyway poorer to the behavioral side. So the point is this, like I just want to share my experiences with you, like what I've gone through all these things, right? So there were many a times when I lost money in stocks. There are many a times when I made a lot of money in stocks. So lost money, made money, went through a lot of pain. There were a lot of nights when I literally thought all my stocks will go down to zero. There were also times when I woke up and I thought that, wow, I'm going to get my financial freedom like immediately because maybe in that last month stocks were only going up, right? So there was a lot of emotional. So it's basically an emotional roller coaster journey. So the reason why I want to share all these things in the mindset series is so that you can handle them when you are building wealth. Let me tell you. So first thing is like if you're in the stock market, I would want you guys to take the market seriously. That means what? That means target big. So if you're in the stock market, you should aim for, let's say, a portfolio of at least 1 CR in the next 5 to 6 years, right? If you aim big, then only you will make a plan, right? If you just put your money here and there and just feel like, okay, jo hoga dekha jayega, usse kya hoga, the market, if you don't take the market seriously, the market will also not take you seriously back. So having said all this, right, when you're targeting for a big amount of money in the market, so that's what I'm assuming that you're going to be doing, like while you're listening to this mindset series, is like if you're targeting to build a lot of wealth in the stock market, you need to understand the psychological dynamics and the psyche of the stock market. So that's what I'll be trying to do. Okay, so whatever I've learned on the behavioral things, like the mistakes I have made, all the greedy things that I have done, okay, all the greedy things I've told people, right? I mean, talk about buying stocks on recommendation, talk about, let's say, trying to make that quick buck. I have done all those things and I've lost money as well. But having said that as well, I also would want to tell you how you can ride this like this roller coaster journey and make multi-baggers in your portfolio as well. So long story short, it's a journey that will give you a lot of good and bad experiences, but on a holistic level, you should be doing pretty well and doing good if you have control over your emotions and your behavior as you learn about equity research and move about in the market. So that's probably it. What I will try to do is, like, for every day, I will try to bring out one session. One session. It won't take much time. Like, I'll probably take 5, 6, 7, 8 of minutes of your time for making one particular session on one particular topic. Okay. So it talks about a very critical aspects, very, very critical aspects. So I'll just to make just one point. Okay. The point that I try to make, okay, like, most people don't think big in the market. So most people, when I ask them, okay, like, do you do investing, or when they come and tell me, they are like, yes, we do investing, we have mutual funds, we have ELSS, we have this and that. And then I ask them, okay, like, what is your goal? Like, what is your goal? Like, what do you want the market to do for you in the near future? And they're like, no, I don't know, right? So you just can't, like, start investing or giving your money, or like give your money away to anybody else just for the sake of doing it because everybody else is doing it, right? You need to have a target in your mind. And see, the market is a place where you can make a lot of money. Okay. So always think big money and not quick money in the market. So that's another thing, right? So these are all the basic behavioral things that we don't imbibe in us. Okay. We don't have that in us, but then we try to do a lot of equity research. Okay. Let me give you one basic flavor on equity research as well. Say, for example, there's this company. So you understand, right, that money always chases growth. Okay. So say, for example, a company comes out with this one particular update that they're opening a new plant. So when that update comes, immediately money starts chasing that stock. Why? Because once you have opened a new plant here, what is the assumption, inherent assumption? Because the market looks forward, right? So the market would feel, once you have set up a new plant, your sales will go up, your PAT will go up, your margins can go up, right? So then the stock goes up, right? The stock goes up very quickly because the news flow is also like very quick. Everybody gets that same piece of information at that one particular point in time. Now here is the game, right? If you, let's say, for example, sit with an Excel sheet and say, like, no, I'm studying this business, it'll take me 6 months to do this research, right? And I want to do like a PhD kind of a research. You're not going to make a lot of money in the market. Why? Because the stock market will not wait for you to complete the research. Like, okay, Mr. A is doing a research on this stock. Let us wait for him to complete the research. Let him buy, and then I'll go up, right? So the market does what the market does. Okay, you have to do what the market does and not bring your biases and your ego in place. Like, oh, I will do this. Okay. The difference between doing an MBA degree and a PhD degree and in the market is this, that you get marks for, let's say, doing an extensive research on a particular thing, but the market doesn't care how many pages of research of a particular company have you done, right? So most equity research analysts that I meet, they have done a lot of research, but most people haven't made any money in the market, right? Why? So that's the whole point, right? So long story short, you do understand there are so many behavioral biases that we have in our mind. We don't even know most of them, right? So in my journey, like whatever, like I have faced in my life, the good things, the bad things, like all the things, I would want to give it to you in a series, right? Every day, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, or let's say every alternate days. I mean, it depends on my schedule as well, but I'll try to be as consistent as possible and hope to give you like things like on behavioral finance, on equity research, like how to analyze a stock as well without even looking at an Excel sheet, right? So like the market is like very, very it's a practical device. Okay, so I just say, okay, like it's a very practical thing. So don't put a lot of quantitative aspects into it and charts and everything. You don't need to do all those things. It's fairly simple as long as you have an open and a curious mind and you can read widely and as well as deeply. So on that note, that is going to be it about the mindset series. So it's going to be up. So I'm going to be putting this video up. So you guys can always like reach out to me. Like I'll be sharing my contact details as well, or you can like ask your doubts in the YouTube comment section, or you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn or on Twitter as well. So that's it. So I think it'll be fun. Okay. And let's keep it interactive. On that note, thank you so much guys for listening.